Look at how sticky it is. It's just somebody who does not know how to season these things. I mean, it doesn't get much worse than that. Look at that. Whew, this is gonna take a lot. So number 5 says cast iron pan $10. So that's a BSR handle, but there appears to be 3 notches in the heat ring. Are those actual notches or just... I don't get that one. Look at that. That's definitely unusual. A BSR with 3 notches in the heat ring, where they should be for a lodge. It's a good deal for $10. I just got so many of these, but that's almost tempting given the weird configuration of it. So that's a gem pan. It's kind of heavy, but it is aluminum. These often were sprayed with Teflon. Hold it for a minute. Let's see what the price is. $12.99. There's not a whole lot of interesting stuff here. Well, there's interesting stuff. Nothing super awesome, but check this out. I think this is a homemade recast in aluminum of a number 5. It looks like it might be a little bit smaller because it was probably made from a number 5 pan. Somebody's crude copy of it. Interesting. And of course this is a lodge. Is it marked? No. What's this guy right here? Unusual, but don't know what it would be used for. Maybe a serving dish, huh? So here's a combo chicken fryer. I think we've seen these weird markings before, but I don't recognize them. It could also be Asian. And then Dutch oven. Quite possibly a BSR. Yeah, it's a BSR. A number 7. Poorly seasoned, it's sticky. Interesting. All right, so we were just basically getting ready to leave town. Hadn't found hardly anything in this whole little town. I think we're in Benton. Okay. And as we were leaving, this place showed up, and I'm like, poke our heads in it. It's actually really nice. I left my phone in the car. It's kind of like my weird karma thing. If I leave the phone in the car, it's going to be good. If I keep the phone with me, it's going to be crappy. But it was really a nice little flea market. So there was a few pieces of cast iron, and as I'm leaving, I see this pile of stuff in a basket. And so this is what I paid, roughly $20 for these 3 pans, which really could completely turn out to be a horrible mistake, right? But very entirely possible. But this is a very old pan. Don't know what it is. Same thing with these. They're all quite pitted. It was probably a really bad idea. I'm pretty sure that's a Martin Stove and Range logo right there. So it'd be interesting to see if that comes out. And this old outer heat ring, possibly an old Wagner. Hard to tell how bad it is. There's absolutely some pitting, but I don't see anything too deep. So this is the kind of cool stuff to try to just see what... I mean, it doesn't get much worse than that. Look at that. Will this thing come out and be anything? Who knows? But I paid about $6.50 a piece for them. So it's worth it just to show it on video, right? At least that's my excuse. Yeah, and you see like so I think this is a BSR saucepan. You know that lid I've got fits this thing.
I see.
$28, and it's not. None of this is restored. I might be able to get that.
If it was restored.
Yeah. I don't know. And I want to get one of these little small bean pots, right?
Mm-hmm. Do you not have one?
No. Well, actually, I think I just got one recently. But that one that I I turned down for a 40. Like a little smaller one than this. Here's another neat one right here too. This one's really thin, but I think they want like $90 for it. $95 for a number 8 bean pot. I don't know enough about them. But you see the ears on this, right? Mm-hmm. I understand the older ones, the ears go out like that.
Okay.
But this one has a gate mark on it. And then this is another bean pot, those round bottom pots. Really, I don't know what kind of condition it's in now. So this is 95 too, or is that 45?
45.
Let's take a look at that. Just looks. Okay, it's gate marked. Number 8. Since we got this out, let's take a look. You think that's a crack?
Sure looks like one.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it goes all the way through though.
What I think this might be a number 10. What I would guess. Maybe bigger. Made in USA number 10. So it's a Birmingham stove and range. I don't know. I've screwed up so many times. Here, take a look at this one. See if you see any
cracks.
Yeah. Let's see this. So this is. I guess it is 45.
Yeah.
Hard to tell, huh? I just want to find something that'll fit on my stove. You're supposed to say you don't need any more of this stuff.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean you'll listen to me either.
I don't think you're even being serious, though.
No, I mean, it is a true statement. You don't need any more.
All right, so back home, and this is my stash for the weekend. This is pretty embarrassing. There's a lot of stuff here, like 20 pans. You know, BSR stew pot that I think I got the lid for. Cornbread pans. You know, the original BSR cornbread pan. The BSR corn stick pan. This stuff, these super duper rusty things that we're gonna see. Ugh, what's gonna happen with them, and some neat looking bean pots. Happy New Year, everybody. Today is New Year's Day, and let's take a look at this super rusty number 8 pan that I've had in here for almost 2 days. It's definitely been bubbling, so hopefully it's been doing something. Is it going to come out okay? Let's take a look. I thought this might have been an Erie. So I could have sworn I saw an E right there, but I don't see the E. This thing still has seasoning and stuff on it. Yeah, let's take it to the sink. Obviously it has some pitting, but it's not unusable. Got a little moon action going there. I guess this is what happens, you know. These pans sit out for long enough, they're just going to get damaged. I was hoping there would be like Erie right across there. I could have sworn I saw it, but no. Well, this is what I get for taking a chance. A lot of work will go into just stabilizing this thing. But it is really old and it's kind of a piece of history, so it should be, right? Alright, so fast forward in time, here are some of the pans that you saw me pick up finished, including the 3 rust buckets. So let's deal with these first. So as you saw, the original pan that I picked up was this guy. This has been seasoned now, and it's what I call a moon pan. Look at the pitting. It's just got a tremendous amount of pitting in it. I thought it might have been an Erie pan, but it has no markings other than an X right down here on the handle. To me, it looks like an unmarked Wagner with the little diamond there underneath the handle. But it's got tremendous amounts of pitting on it, and it's uneven. Some places it's not nice. Doesn't appear to be cracked. You know, could this thing be sanded down and grinded down and made better? Entirely possible. Just hard to know how much material you'd have to take away to smooth out this bottom when you got some pretty deep pits. Also, as I was cleaning this, I noticed that there was a lot of seasoning, so it seems like some of these pittings were pretty old and then they were seasoned over. And you could take something like this and season over it, but I don't know what I can do with it. It's not marked and it doesn't have any super distinctive features. It's not, so that was a bust, right? So let's look at the other 2. The second one, look at this one, is even worse. Look at the pitting. I mean, that's atrocious. Atrocious. A number 7 Martin Stove and Range too. Look at that. The beautiful pan, a pretty rare size to find. Or no, I guess number 6 may be a little bit more difficult than number 7. That's a whole nother episode we're talking about what's more rare. But look at it. Beautiful Martin with the hamburger logo, and just horrible. Horrible. Weird markings on it. I don't think that's a crack, but boy, look at that. Just a mess. I mean, I'm speechless. It's so bad, but a really nice pan. So I paid about $6.50, $7 for each one of these, and the last one, and here's a number 6. You can see pretty heavy pitting in it. By comparison, this thing almost looks pretty nice, and it's just a nice Wagner, number 6, Sydney O. Looks like it even sits flat, but they all were in really pretty bad shape. They're all usable, but for resale purposes or whatever, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. So they're just, if you got some ideas on what I could do with these, I guess they could be turned into clocks, or they could be used as decorations. They can obviously still be used to cook with, and it's perfectly reasonable. But, whew. So that did not turn out okay. Here is that pot that I was looking at, that I ended up getting, the gate marked number 8. And it cleaned up really nice. Came out really nice. There's some little remnants of older seasoning on here, and that's just because I didn't want to, wear my hands out. But the inside came out really, really good. It's nice and smooth in here. So this is a really beautiful little pot. Very old, gate marked number 8 bean pot. So there you go. And I will be featuring more of the stuff I found on future episodes, as well as some other interesting things. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and enjoying the video series and supporting me thus far by subscribing and clicking like and all of that. And if you want to catch me on TikTok, sometimes I have previews of what I'm working on that I haven't published lately. That's at TikTok/@WisdomStudio. And if you're on Facebook, look up the group Vintage Cast Iron Hunting, Restoration, Identification, and Sales. And until next time.